Mhm.
Now, if you want to make money as a farmer, this stuff is no longer going to be permissible. You got two options. If you just stop farming and let it die off, you're going to go broke.
Absolutely.
But you got another option. You've been paying insurance for 80 years.
What?
You've been paying insurance for 80 years. Why not collect?
Oh, stop.
Not
Oh,
only that, you got to remember, FDIC is trying to patch all of the places the BRICS is forcing the US
oh
dollar out
yeah,
of.
absolutely. You heard
So
of
their insurance company is leaking bad. That's why they keep coming up with this 250 billion missing here and
Mhm.
100 billion. That's because they can't collect on the interest, or we call it inflation.
Mhm.
They can't collect on the inflation of the dollar when it's being forced back home and nobody's using it. The dollar is contingent upon circulation.
That's right. That's
This
what
is
they
what,
were stimulating. They were stimulating the economy. Yeah.
yeah. And so what do they do to stimulate the economy? They give out massive grants.
Yes.
They give out massive grants, but we normally didn't get the grants.
No, no.
When they created something called the United Nations, then they found out that they can create super grants if
Mm.
they gave it to foreign interests.
Entities. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is why you see every time something happened over here, they give Ukraine a whole bunch of money under the Biden administration.
Hmm.
They're circulating the dollar trying to artificially float the system.
Interesting. And that's why also like when you in South America, you'll notice like in Ecuador, in Panama's starting to do it. Also, Argentina's starting to want to do it. They're starting to save the dollar. Like if you go and do your it's called the blue exchange, you'll go and you'll give them they just want American dollars and they're stocking it. They're holding it in Argentina. They're just holding it because they want to use that currency.
Well, we gotta remember, Argentina will be all right if America stay out their business.
It's true.
They leverage was stockpiling the US dollar, the fiat.
Mhm. Mhm.
It stagnates the growth of the money because it has to circulate.
Yes. Yes.
If if you stockpiling it, you run it into it's like digging a hole and the hole is so deep that no matter how much water you put in it, you never fill it up.
Interesting.
They digging a hole for the dollar.
Yeah.
They burying the dollar by
Yeah.
holding it. It's
Yeah.
like they holding us in reprisal for the debt, so they holding the U.S. dollar in reprisal for exploitation of their people.
Oh,
It's the
interesting.
same thing. It's just
Yeah.
a counterbalance.
Yeah. And did you hear what happened with China? China just made a big deal with Brazil, which is basically going to initiate a new bartering system. Um, that kind of puts the brick back on the table. I don't know that it'll happen, but they just made a big deal.
So the thing now is how are they going to do what they call international exchange of currency
Mhm.
if everybody's back to it's a one-to-one value everywhere you go? So they're trying to look at the stability of the economy so that when they set exchange rate, it should come out in the end a fair exchange,
Yeah.
a equivalent exchange, not a superior or inferior.
Yeah, because $1 of US is about right now it's like 5.6 reais in Brazil. Yeah. So they're
They,
trying to
that
even
mean
yeah.
that mean their dollar is effed up.
Oh, it is. Like it's wonderful when you're here, but it's really terrible for them. It's not fair. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. So let's kind of turn the topic of discussion to what's happening. Did you I don't watch Super Bowls, monkey balls, you know what I mean? Balls of mass destruction. Everybody wanted to watch the Super Bowls, but Kendrick Lamar did
Mhm.
a performance and I usually don't watch it the night of the Super Bowl because I don't want to get entranced by the socially engineered mind control programming. But I did get a chance to watch with the Zombies last night or today rather, and I found it really fascinating. The things that he did during the Super Bowl, the imagery of the PlayStation with the X, and I'm going to ask you some questions because we came upon something like 4 a.m. with the Zombies. He had the X, the triangle, and the O. He had the PlayStation. because this is the game of the Matrix. Looking like a man, bleached skin. Did she not know that bleaching should be illegal? Come on now, like Mr. Serena. I don't know if her ball. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rod. Let me pull back. Let me pull back. Okay, I'm gonna behave myself. Okay. Okay, let's go to the performance. What do you think about the performance, Rod? Like, I thought it was really ritualistic. The words he was saying. I mean, I'm a big hip hop fan, but his verbiage was powerful. But there was some mind control programming in there. Can I get a little bit of a breakdown of what you perceive that ritualistic performance was
Well,
about?
first thing I gotta tell you is I didn't watch it. See, I still haven't watched it.
See, you're like me. Yeah, I didn't watch
I
it.
still haven't watched it.
Yeah.
The second thing is that the code didn't come out in the outcome of the game. It came out in the outcome of the performance.
What do you
And we
mean?
was expecting the Chiefs to win.
I wasn't because I didn't expect them to win because we found out that the Eagles was the year it was founded, the Eagles is a snake and that the Hawks were a pig and it's the enemy year of the pig. So I kind of presume that a snake team would win. So Philly, we kind of discussed it before it happened, so I assume Philly might win.
Yeah, well, most of us because we've been watching the Chiefs, right? I was hoping that this.
Or who you? I ain't African American, that's for sure. I'm a whole Indian, but I'm on Arawak and goddamn the whole Iroquois Confederation. My bloodline run through all that. So what do y'all really want to do? See, I done did a lot of digging.
You ain't got
Off
to
of what
listen.
y'all said, the things y'all been saying, I've been doing a lot. Like I told you, my last name Taylor. Remember you were talking about the Taylor priesthood?
Yeah,
I was like, that's why our family dresses so nice. That
yeah,
Taylor gang thing
yeah,
Khalifa
yeah,
came up with.
yeah.
I was like, dang, we got that's all like our family crest. We're tailor made. That's our family crest. My grandma had 22 kids. You feel what I'm saying? My grandma come from a them bloodline where they were doing all that back then. Had what you call the second wife thing? Like had a housewife and you had you know what I'm saying, the real like I forgot how they say it.
Concubines.
Huh?
About the concubines or the harem.
Basically, yeah.
Mm.
Basically, yeah. My granddaddy's name was Lucius. His son name was Lucius. His son was name was Lucius. I'm like, where all these Lucifers coming from?
The ones that carrying the light. See, that's
Oh, okay.
right. That's the same as naming your boy Sonny Boy.
All
That's,
right. Now what this is what my dad did, right? My dad had me, right? I was a junior. I'm a junior still, but he changed his name from what mine was to JD. He just gave himself initials. What do you think that was? What you think that was about? Like he
you
left.
gotta ask him. He can tell you better than me.
Oh, okay. I was just checking. I was just saying if it was a spiritual aspect to it. I could
It's
actually.
always when the name change, it's always tied to some kind of spiritual change in the individual's life. We don't change our name just to be changing our name. We changing our name to
Made
represent
room.
our
He made
new development and our new path that we pursue.
he made room. He made room for me spiritually. I think I thought about that a lot. But yeah, I kind of got because he army. He been in the army since he left out of high school. Back in the days and shit. Out of orange groves and the watermelon tossing fields and shit like that.
Yeah,
So he kind of I told him I had to tell him I'm like, Dad, I know they broke your mind. A lot of the things that I'm saying, I know you took an oath, so you won't be able to elaborate on certain things. But don't tell me you already knew what I'm telling you. And I'm
that
like, why
don't
you didn't
apply to
tell
you.
me,
Here's, here's,
dude?
listen. If he's in the Masonic order and he's under an oath, it's his blood son asking for the truth. He have to tell it to him. It's the only
I ain't
way to
gonna lie.
get it. It's the
He
only
gave
way
me my
around their
flower.
contract.
Really? Okay. So it can't be nobody else, but it could be the first one.
He can any one of his children that's birthed from his loins ask him a question and he know the truth. He got to tell y'all.
Really?
He
Okay.
can't mislead his own family. He can only mislead outsiders, people that's not in his immediate family. He can tell
Fact.
your cousin and your auntie a bald-faced fucking lie, but he can't tell his children or his wife a bald-faced lie. He's
Got,
not permitted to.
got you. Got
That-
you.
That's how
Now
you
I have.
call. That's how you keep them upright.
All right. Check this out. Right. I'm gonna throw this at you right quick. Right. All right. I've been doing my thing. I in the streets or whatever. But the mother of my child, I ain't gonna call her my baby mama. I'm calling her the mother of my child. Is coming down here to take me out. Basically, she told me I've been out here too long. I need to go get some rest. Even though I know what she mean, I don't really need no rest, but I know what she mean though. Like, you feel me? And it's like, okay, bam, I got my sister named Jasmine, the mother of my child named Jasmine, and the one I talked to named Jasmine. What does that mean, bro? That's 3 Jasmines, bro, and them flowers. So what does that mean?
You got your
If you could tell.
flowers. Why? Listen, you ever hear somebody say, "Give me my flowers while I'm living"?
Say again.
You ever hear somebody say, "Give me my flowers while I'm living"?
Uh, no, I've never heard that. I'll take that back.
So
No.
the term is representative of people send flowers to the dead. And that's something my mom used to always say too. She said, "I don't want flowers when I'm dead. I want my flowers when I'm living. I know how to make them grow."
Oh my God, I just caught on what you're saying, bro.
You
I'm
ain't have
getting
to
them
wait.
right now while I'm out.
Yeah, you don't got to wait till you die. I got a niece named Jasmine too.
That's
She
crazy, and
got,
I fought with you real hard. That's 4 Jasmine. That's Mother Earth thing right there.
yeah.
That's that
Hey, I'm
four.
gonna
I
let you drop down. I'm gonna take one more caller, then I'm gonna
back.
wrap it up. I'm starting to wear
No
down
problem,
now.
brother. We've been
All
going in. I got you. Now I'm sorry,
right.
chat, everybody else. Hope
You good,
y'all.
player? You good? You good, JT?
Yeah, man. You know I'm gonna call you. You know I'm gonna call you tomorrow or
Yeah.
something. You already
But
know.
they blew Calvin DeFreeze up. They literally blew him up, like blew the whole house up on the news at 6 o'clock. We watching it.
As an example.
Make sure they did him just like they. The only difference was between them and the Move movement is everybody in the Move community was 100% didn't do nothing. They just wanted to be left alone and live unto themselves under the guidance of Giant Africa. They didn't ask for none of this. But Calvin DeFreeze, aka Joseph Sinkyu, he knew he knew what he was he knew he was facing death by defying the orders given to him by the CIA.
He just did it to do it. Just to do it.
He, everybody can't win in war. Somebody gonna take a L.
Yeah.
It's up to the generations to follow to determine if we're gonna flip that L into a 7 till we hit a jackpot.
Mm.
If you can show how you can benefit from those lessons, when you flip a loss into a lesson, it's no longer a loss.
That's right.
You
Sure.
learn from it. That means that you flip that L into a 7.
It's still a win.
So it's still a
An
win.
eventual win. Let me ask
Yeah.
you the question though. So going back to Kendrick, when you're saying that he had uniform, what I noticed, and when you get a chance to look, he's wearing a hat, like almost like not a pheasant, but like a hat notable to a Yoruba priest in his video. If
I
you
thought he had a baseball cap on backwards.
know, like in his video for the song "They're Not Like Us," like
Oh, okay. Okay.
he's
Yeah, he
wearing
had
like
like a kufi type
Yorubas,
hat.
yeah, like a Yorubas priest hat. We were kind of discussing it. One of the young ladies knows the Yorubas, certain things they wear, and I thought that was interesting because when you say he commanded all the OGs to come together, only someone qualified could do that spiritually and also land legs wise. So he has two. And when he was wearing that, I was like, it's interesting that he was qualified to take that command. Totally. Now, what would be the beef between him and Drake? Because Drake represents the Moloch, the Molochians, the
You remember,
Zionists.
you
Yeah,
remember when I told you Kamala was playing the role of the harlot that's supposed to fail miserably?
that's right. Yes.
Kendrick is playing the character of the dragon
Mm.
that's supposed to be slain at the feet of the great mother,
Cool.
which means he had to volunteer because they couldn't make him do it because he had to take the L.
Yeah.
But if he accepted as a self-sacrifice, the highest form of sacrifice is a self-sacrifice. Kendrick is the only one qualified to sacrifice him, Abraham and his son.
Hmm.
Uh, Aubrey brought Kendrick into the rap game. What your mama say? If you get out of line, I brought you into this world, now I take you out.
Mm.
It's what you call a script flip.
So Drake brought him in, and he was meant to set him to always Drake's name.
Right. So
Mm.
now, if we take the Abraham story to try to explain what it looks like to give it something where people can relate, imagine Abraham was told you have to sacrifice your son, right?
Mhm.
But when you get to the altar, he tell his son, I'm gonna lay on this altar. You carry on the legacy and sacrifice me.
Mm.
You gotta remember, even though Drake is part Jewish, his father from Memphis.
Oh, I didn't know that.
His father one of us. Now he got two choices. Now he got two choices. He can fall to the blue house on the fatherland, Kendrick Lamar, sea walking, or he can run from it all and be sacrificed by the red house as the wasted womb of the wasted seed of the mother's womb.
Mm.
That was his option. The path of least resistance is the wisest path. Nothing in nature is find the most resistant path to take.
Absolutely.
So if you got a good advisor like a Jay Prince, and you say, hey, these people came to me and told me I'm gonna take this L or I'm gonna take this D. I don't feel like trying to dig from under 6 feet of dirt. I'd rather take the L. What's the smartest move to make? How do we have this L where we can still be winning? It's all played, it's all part of the game, but the game is over.
Like the PlayStation game. You got to see it. Yeah, the
Just
PlayStation
like
game.
just like Fortnite.
Yeah, yeah. This is interesting.
Now we in here wearing these goggles we call bodies, meat modems.
Hmm.
They're really artificial constructs of the machine.
Yes.
But we got to know how to play the game,
Hmm.
right? And once we learn how to play the game, then we know how to maneuver around our enemies.
Absolutely. But we also have to know the rules. And once you know the rules, you can gain a little leverage, and then you kind of watch, you know.
Game
And
rules of living major.
ooh.
Outlaws,
And
outlaws.
And let me ask you a question too, because as we're watching like the video today, and there's like a big X, there's this whole antage of the X. So I kind of just kind of transcribe that even though X is considered to be like exit, X marks the spot, there's a part of the X that's inverted, like kind of means I noticed that the things that they put X on, even though it's meant like Twitter, you know, Twitter that BioBorg Elon Musk purchased for supposedly free speech, which is bullocks. Okay. He named it X. And if you notice, like even with the creation of SpaceX and then bringing up, Planet X, all these X's are being kind of initiated. And, visually, when we see certain geometrical shapes or symbols, it has a play on us subconsciously.
It's called
And
sugar writing. That
yes,
tells you how to create them.
yeah. And I
Okay,
noticed,
so before
yeah,
you go any further,
yeah,
in our community, who owns the X? Who's the X synonymous to?
women,
You talking gender, but I'm talking about in the community as in
um,
at large.
the
The
brown community,
so-called
the brown community, yeah, the
right
melanated people,
in the melanated community, right?
yeah.
Who made the X
Malcolm,
valuable to us? Malcolm. Who gave Malcolm his X?
was it, was it Elijah Muhammad or no?
It was Elijah Muhammad.
Okay, yeah.
Everywhere you see an X, is furthering his agenda, knowingly or unknowingly. What was his agenda?
To,
Accept alone, be yourself.
yes, yes.
That was his agenda. How you gonna do that? You need what's called a Trojan horse,
Yes.
right? If you go to one of Malcolm's first interviews, the biggest part of the interview was why you drop your slave name and take the X.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Introducing X marks the spot. Malcolm is Malcolm Little, Detroit Red, running the red herring to bring back the chickens off of a Sam Cooke, Little Red Rooster that brings the chickens back home to roost. That's why the statement was so controversial. So they tagging the future generations of young chiefs. They giving them X's.
Like Generation X. I'm from Generation X. Yeah.
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 They make it popular in what culture? Hip hop culture.
That's right.
Remember?
Yeah.
Remember when we was walking around, everybody had a jacket with a big ass X on it?
That's right. It was
This Elijah Muhammad slowly creeping up on us.
interesting.
You preach the need to change, but you can't change too much too fast or you'll cause resentment.
Yeah. So you have to do a slow walk
Right.
to success.
Now, the X ties back into the masonry, the crossbones,
Yes. Yes.
but his didn't have a skull. That means that he didn't have to kill nobody
The
to
one of
own the X.
that's right.
But the one with the skull on it is the symbol for the pirate, but it's also the symbol for the poison.
That's right. Interesting.
All of that stuff connected. Unified field theory. If you use an X one place, it's connected to every X everywhere else.
Absolutely. And the X
If
can,
you and
yeah,
if you dominate the energy of the X, then you can control the flow of the energy through your lens by controlling the X.